Mosquitoes transmit many diseases among humans, including malaria, dengue, West Nile fever, and Zika. To keep mosquitoes from spreading disease, we must first understand their life cycle. The life cycle of a mosquito, like that of many other insects, has 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Female mosquitoes lay eggs on or near a body of still water. Some species prefer natural bodies of water like ponds. Others prefer water found in containers like buckets, flower pots, or discarded tires. Each female mosquito may lay hundreds of eggs. As long as they have water, the eggs can take as little as 2 days to hatch. They may hatch faster in warmer temperatures. Once a mosquito hatches from its egg, it enters the second stage of its life cycle, the larva. The larva lives underwater and eats algae, plankton, and other microorganisms. Larvae need air to breathe, and the larvae of many mosquito species have a breathing tube by their tail called a siphon. These larvae hang upside down and stick their siphons above the water to get air. A mosquito stays as a larva for 4 to 14 days, depending on temperature and species. After growing and shedding its skin several times, the larva enters the third stage of its life cycle, the pupa. The pupa stays near the water's surface and needs air to breathe, but does not eat. It puts most of its energy into developing into its 4th and final stage, the adult. After 1 to 4 days, the mosquito splits out of the skin it had as a pupa and emerges as an adult. Shortly after, it mates. Both male and female mosquitoes feed on nectar from plants, but females also need to drink blood from animals, such as humans, in order to make eggs. It's at this stage that a female mosquito can transmit diseases. First, the female mosquito bites and drinks blood from an individual infected with a pathogen, such as a virus or a parasite. The pathogen travels with the blood to an organ in the mosquito called the midgut. After replicating in the midgut, the pathogen spreads to the mosquito's other organs, including its salivary glands. Whenever the mosquito bites another individual, it can then transmit the pathogen to that individual and infect them with the disease.
This is the deadliest animal in the world. Mosquitoes kill hundreds of thousands of people each year. The most vulnerable people, children, pregnant women. No other bite kills more humans or makes more of us sick. So what makes a mosquito's bite so effective? For starters, they're motivated. Only females bite us. They need blood to make eggs. And a pool of water for their babies to hatch in. Even a piece of trash can hold enough. At first glance, it looks simple, this mosquito digging her proboscis into us. But the tools she's using here are sophisticated. First, a protective sheath retracts. See it bending back? If you look at a mosquito's head under a microscope, you can see what that sheath protects. And inside there are 6 needles. 2 of them have tiny teeth. She uses those to saw through the skin. They're so sharp, you can barely feel her pushing. These other 2 needles hold the tissues apart while she works. From under the skin, you can see her probing, looking for a blood vessel. Receptors on the tip of one of her other needles pick up on chemicals that our blood vessels exude naturally and guide her to it. Then she uses this same needle like a straw. As her gut fills up, she separates water from the blood and squeezes it out. See that drop? That frees up space to stuff herself with more nutritious red blood cells. With another needle, she spits chemicals into us. They get our blood flowing more easily and give us itchy welts afterwards. And sometimes, before she pries herself away, she leaves a parting gift in her saliva. A virus or a parasite that can sicken or kill us. There's nothing in it for her. The viruses and parasites are just hitching a ride. But this is what makes mortal enemies out of us and mosquitoes. They take our blood. Sometimes we take theirs. But often not soon enough.
Keep your house free of flies. You need to prevent them from getting attracted to your house in the first place. Let's take a look at some of the best tips for keeping your house free of flies. 1. Clean food spills immediately. Flies are attracted to sugars, fruits, and anything that seems appealing in your space. They're most attracted to moist or rotten foods. For that reason, whenever you spill food, clean it up immediately. Store all your moist foods in an airtight container and put snacks and pet food in sealed Ziploc bags. Wash your dishes soon after use to avoid them sitting in the sink for too long. 2. Keep your bins clean. The rubbish bin is a hot spot for flies in any house. Dispose your waste or compost in sealed bags and empty your bins frequently. Your backyard waste disposal area should be well lit, preferably by sunlight, so it doesn't get damp and encourage the growth of microbes. 3. Clean up after your pets. If you have a pet cat or dog at home, their litter box could become a breeding ground for all kinds of flies if you don't pick up after them regularly. Here's a gross fact for you. Flies prefer to lay eggs on poop and can release dozens of eggs at a time. They can hatch in as little as 24 hours and quickly lead to an infestation. So it goes without saying that no excuse is good enough. You need to keep on top of cleaning up after your pets. 4. Clear the drain. Your drains are a magnet for flies as they're filled with rotten organic material. The outlets in your kitchen and bathroom should be cleaned once a week with disinfectant drain cleaners to kill any pests breeding inside. This is a job that's easy to forget, so write it on your calendar if you know you won't remember. 5. Block their entry points. Although flies can enter inside every time you open the door, they often come through openings in the window, vents or holes in insect screens that you're unaware of. Frequently check for these entry points and fix them of flies. Whether you live in a big city or in the middle of the countryside, you can't get away from flies. And although flies might not seem dangerous, they spread various infections, so it's probably best not to have them flying around while you're cooking. Stay tuned to learn of the best homemade remedies to get rid of flies fast. Let's start with some natural fly repellents made with ingredients readily available in our homes. 1. Hot pepper repellent. One of the most effective ways to get rid of flies in and around your house is to use hot pepper. Flies avoid these plants and won't come close to foods containing hot pepper. Flies' hatred towards pepper is thought to be caused by their inability to breathe whenever they get a whiff of the hot pepper scent. For that reason, you should see success by placing a couple of hot pepper plants in your kitchen windowsill to keep flies away. You can also grow pepper plants in your garden to ward flies away from your home in general. Make a powerful, all-natural hot pepper fly repellent spray by following these simple steps. Use 2 or 3 hot peppers depending on the concentration you want and blend them finely in a food processor. Add 3 to 4 cups of water and continue blending to get a uniform mix. Seal this mix in an airtight container and place it in the sunlight for about a week. Strain the liquid and transfer it to a spray bottle. Spray liberally around your doors and windows to keep the flies away. 2. Basil. Basil, a culinary herb, is most commonly used in Italian cuisines. Its aroma, though delicious to us humans, can repulse flies. To get rid of flies in your home, grow a basil plant in your garden or in your windowsill. Grow basil and pepper alongside one another for the best fly-repelling results. You can also make an insect repellent spray with basil leaves. Here's how. Pick a few basil leaves and squeeze them a little to form cuts in the leaves. Steep these leaves in hot water for about 30 minutes. Strain the leaves and use the liquid as a spray. 3. Ginger spray. Ginger spray is an all-natural and powerful fly repellent that's easy to make and works like a charm. Similar to hot pepper and basil leaves, the strong odor of ginger repels flies and keeps them away from your house. A mixture of ginger and water is also an effective insect repellent that's traditionally used in farms. The strong, repulsive odor of ginger keeps most flies at bay. 4. Essential oils. Many essential oils have strong odors that send flies away. Making a spray out of a mixture of these oils is a wonderful way to keep the flies away from your house. To prepare an essential oil fly spray, you just need some oils with strong odors like clove oil, thyme oil, peppermint oil, lemongrass oil, and cinnamon oil. Here's what you need to do. Add 10 drops of each essential oil to the spray bottle. Pour 2 cups of water and 2 cups of non-flavored vodka into the bottle. Blend the ingredients together by shaking vigorously. Use around your home as part air freshener, part fly repellent. 5. Apple cider vinegar and eucalyptus oil. This fly repellent concoction is especially effective against houseflies. You just need a 1/4 cup of witch hazel, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and about 60 drops of eucalyptus oil. Then follow these steps. Add the witch hazel and the apple cider vinegar to the spray bottle and shake well. Next, add the eucalyptus oil to the mixture and shake well to prepare the repellent spray. This concoction can also be applied on your skin to repel houseflies. If the organic sprays aren't keeping your pesky flies at bay, it's time to take it up a notch with some homemade fly traps. 1. Vinegar fly trap. An effective way to get rid of fruit flies in your home is to use the vinegar fly trap. Fruit flies are primarily attracted to rotten or fermented fruits. That's why fermented fruit products such as apple cider vinegar and wine make an excellent bait to lure in the flies. A simple trap can be made with fermented liquids to eliminate fruit flies in your home. To make this trap, pour some apple cider vinegar into a glass and cover it with a clear plastic sheet. Use rubber bands to tightly secure the sheets to the glass. Using a needle, create a hole big enough for fruit flies to crawl into the glass. These holes will send the smell of vinegar out of the glass, attracting flies. Once they crawl in, the flies won't be able to fly out of the holes, and they'll eventually drown. Another trick is to pour some vinegar into an open bowl and add a few drops of dish soap. The soap reduces the surface tension of vinegar, and when the flies try to land...
Okay, here are 10 best plants that keep mosquitoes and flies away. Number 1. Lavender. Lavender is a popular plant that has been used for many years to add a sweet fragrance to drawers and homes. However, mosquitoes, moths, fleas, flies, and bugs hate the smell of this plant as it drives them away. To get the maximum effect, lavender should be kept in bouquets and planted in sunny areas or doorways of a house. Number 2. Basil. Basil is perfect at doing both. It keeps away both mosquitoes and flies. It can be planted in a container or seeded directly into your garden. There are several types of basil you can grow, including sweet basil and Genovese basil, but both work at keeping mosquitoes at bay. Mint. Mint is an easily available kitchen herb that also keeps away mosquitoes, flies, and ants. Keep potted mint leaves near your doorways and plant them in your patio to deter pests. Applying mint leaves or its oil is a safe mosquito-repelling option when it comes to children. Number 4. Chrysanthemums. The intense scent and oil in basil seem to have repellent properties for many varieties of flies. Chrysanthemums repels ticks, fleas, ants, Japanese beetles, and many other insects. Chrysanthemums contain a neurotoxin called pyrethrin that kills insects, yet is safe for animals. Lemongrass. Lemongrass, Cymbopogon citratus, is an effective repellent against mosquitoes and house flies. These results suggest that lemongrass could be used as an effective repellent against stable flies.
Known for its distinct smell, citronella grass is the most commonly used natural ingredient in mosquito repellents. In fact, the Brooklyn Botanic Garden recommends lemon-scented plants such as citronella grass to keep mosquitoes at bay. And the good news is that the living plant is the most effective at repelling pests.
Allium. Alliums are said to keep not only mosquitoes away, but also other insects, such as aphids, carrot flies, and cabbage worms. What's more, they will also add to your garden's aesthetics, and they prove to be of help when planted around other plants, including tomatoes, potatoes, and carrots. Sage. Sage is great for repelling ants, flies, and mosquitoes. Sage has a reputation for getting rid of ants, flies, and mosquitoes. The research found that having a pot of sage around can offer up to 32% protection against mosquitoes. Catnip. Catnip is more known to give cats a buzz, yet it can be effective because of its bug-repellent properties. It contains essential oil which can help deter houseflies and mosquitoes. More studies show catnip oil is more effective as a spatial repellent than popular DEET, which you can find in commercial insect repellents. Number 9. Rosemary. Rosemary may prevent flies and mosquitoes from ruining a cookout. If the bugs are really bad, like around dusk, throw a few sprigs of rosemary on the grill, and the aromatic smoke will help drive the mosquitoes away. Crumple geraniums as leaves, and apply its oil on your skin. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Malaria is caused by the Plasmodium parasite, and it is spread to humans through the bite of infected mosquitoes. Pregnant women and children in local communities like this one are the worst hit. Worried by this trend, these youngsters have come up with their own solution to this problem.
Came up with how to solve the problem, with how to plant some grasses, some plants, especially the catnips, Suetoniana glass, marigold, and catnips, etc. So those things were they're like a barrier around. So if you plant them around your house to reduce the amount of mosquitoes that come in there,